Welcome to Flow360 training webinars. In this session we are going to be looking at work types. So what are work types? Where do they come into play in Flow360? Essentially the work type is a simplified categorization which relates specifically to help desk issues, works and tasks, and is also used to describe work remits both for individual service providers and for teams and external contractors. The work type remits attached to service providers and teams is also used as part of the automatic targeting of incoming help desk issues and service requests and outgoing works orders to the relevant team or individual based on matching the work type of the issue to the work type remits of the team, for example. So let's have a look at where we set them and how we can use them. If we go to the help desk issues list and look, for example, at one of these issues that's already logged, in this case the lights having failed in study bedroom 1 on the ground floor of one of the boarding houses at Bishop Fox's at King's College. And you can see here that the work type field is on the help desk issue card, and that can be changed by a manager or a person who is in charge of the issue in order to correctly categorize this type of issue according to its work type. So in this case this one has already been tagged as electrical, which makes sense as it's a lighting issue. Now let's see what happens if we start logging a new help desk issue. And let's just sort of drill down to a particular section, into main building, second floor and room 2. And let's say we have here a problem with the door lock, which is broken. Now, door lock, that would be on the door and to do with joinery, so typically we might say this is a joinery work issue. And look at what's happened here. By selecting joinery work, the target now for this issue is automatically Peter Anderson on the joiners team. If we were to select electrical, just by way of another example, then that automatically retargets the issue at the electricians. So the work type can be used in that way. It does depend on how you have your teams set up, but that's a very useful way of ensuring that incoming issues are automatically and rapidly sent through to the correct team or individual for them to action. So that's one place that work types can be set and used for targeting purposes. We can also use the work types for reporting outputs. So again, let's go back to our list of active help desk issues and let's choose a report option and let's break down these active issues by work type. And you can see we have some options here: help desk issues with details or simply help desk issues by work type. Let's choose this one, help desk issues by work type and issue type, and click confirm. And that will take the current set and break them down, and you can see we've got booking service, we've got failures, we've got catering service requests, cleaning services, accidental damage, and those are all broken down as well into the various work types and issue types. So booking services, then we have work type brickwork and block work type building, catering services and so on, floor finishes, general services. So the work type is a way of producing summarized information in report outputs as well. Back to the start, and let's have a look now at using those work types within our planned tasks and actions. So if we go to the King's College site and we look at our list of planned tasks, and let's run through into one of these. So in this case, redecorating the room, redecorating the walls in room 3. Now the work type information comes under categorization here. So if we wanted to categorize this work as painting and decorating, we would go to the option 1 categories for this particular task, and we can simply select work type as an option here. So rather than thinking about a more detailed or structured form of categorization, we can simply use Worktype and attach that. So that is now flagging that this particular activity is painting and decorating. And if we go to the list view and run a filter or a search, we can look for items that are tagged or flagged as particular work types. So for example, if we go to electrical on the works items list, that's going to bring up a long list of electrical items, some of which are still open, some of which are ready, some of which are signed off. Of course, we could have used additional criteria in the filter panel to limit that to current active issues. Now let's just do that. So I'll go back to my find panel and let's say that we look for status that are, let's say we look for status, we want works that are actually in progress at the moment. And electrical is still set there, so we'll say find me electrical works that are currently in progress. So the work type in this context is again another useful way of breaking down planned tasks or actions. And we can again use that information for outputs in report form that break the work down into those work type categories. And let's look at doing that in relation to, say, a cost projection of planned work for the next 3 years. So if we go to the Tasks tab and we open up the filter panel, so we're just looking at King's College now, and we're saying the next 3 years is what I want to find. I want to exclude overdue tasks because I want to just look at my planned program. So I don't want to bring in stuff that we had planned to do by now and haven't actually done. And I want some cost calculations in here as well. So I'll click the find on that, and that will give me that subset of records that are for the next 3 years. What I didn't do that time round was restrict that to a specific work type. So now I want to reduce that set to the electrical items only. So I'm going to set the reduce option here on the filters, and we're going to go to electrical, and that will take that set down and give me just the electrical items. And now I can get that breakdown. If on the other hand I want all of that activity for the next 3 years, regardless of work type, then we'll simply run that again. We'll say next 3 years, exclude the overdues, include the costs. Make sure that's on years, and load that up again. And then we're going to look at a report output that includes all of that information broken down by work type. So we'll go to the reports button and we'll say tasks by client and work type with costs, and that gives us then a breakdown of that 3-year set of activities. So we've got various electrical works. If we scroll on further down, it's quite a lot of electrical works. If we scroll on down, we've got some external works, some flooring, some general building, maintenance, insulation work, mechanical, painting and decorating, and so on. And if we want to produce that report without all of the individual line items listed, then of course we can do that. We will be looking at reporting in more detail in other tutorials, but I just want to show you this option here again. So the same report option, tasks by client and work type with costs, but I'm going to deselect the option that says include detailed list where appropriate, and I'll click confirm on that. And here's our breakdown again, simply by work type with the headline figures. Now we've got a 0 in here, that's because none of those service tasks were actually costed. So the work type, a very useful way of breaking down your planned actions and indeed any help desk issues and outgoing works instructions. So let's have a little look at where the work type comes into play in relation to works programs. We'll look at an individual works order, which is for some redecorating work, and if we drill through to one of the line items there, as with the tasks record, we've got a tab here that says categories. And you can see here we've got some categorization for this one where the work type is set to painting and decorating. And if we wanted to add additional categories for this activity, we can do so. And that allows us then again to find works items by category And also you'll find that when you're looking at the main works list and you use the find button here, that you can also use the category filters here and say, again, okay, find me all of the works orders, and let's just restrict this to orders only so that we're not looking at inquiries as well. And maybe we only want to look at those that are active. So find me all the active works orders that include some electrical work. And that will find me that list. And then again, having performed that find, we could then produce a report breakdown that summarizes or sub-summarizes that information in a variety of different ways. So we've had a look at work types in relation to help desk issues, work types as categories on both tasks and on works orders themselves. Let's just have a little look at where work types come into play with regards to teams. So as a manager with access to Teams, I can go to my homepage, I can go to the Employees tab and then the Teams sub-tab, and we'll look, say, initially at the Maintenance team. Now when you're looking at the record for a team, you have a number of tabs here. You have your list of team members, the setup and so on, but we also have a tab that says Help Desk Issue Work Type Remits, and this is where we can establish that automatic targeting of new issues as they come in. So what we've said here for the maintenance team is that mechanical, brickwork and blockwork will automatically be targeted through to this team. So if we were to start logging a new help desk issue and we said the work type is brickwork and blockwork, then that's going to come through to this team. If we look at some of the other teams, the ICT team is limited to ICT services. So again, if we specify that this is an ICT services issue, then it will automatically be diverted to the ICT team. And if we look at remits for individuals, which we access by going to their contact record. So if I look at Simon Jones's contact record and I go to the remits tab and then the work remits, this is where we would set up specific work remits for Simon Jones in this case. He's already got one sort of global one set up which covers all areas and all help desk issues and all work types. If I want to add a specific remit, then I can click through to here and we can select a work type here. So if I wanted to specify that Simon also deals with electrical works, I can add that as a remit for him. So work remits, work type remits come into play on the remits for individuals and also come into play on the setup for individual teams. So I hope that's given you a bit of a flavour for how work types operate within Flow 360 and the link in work type between a help desk issue or a works order or a planned task and the remits that apply to a specific individual service provider, internal, external, or indeed a team.